Hi, gang. Bob Boving here with The Mystery Project and the next installment of Peggy Delaney by James W. Nichol. The arrival in the Trib's mailroom of a parcel for Peggy starts a definitely peculiar scenario that may have to do with a personal threat and a morbid danger. Kyra Harper stars in Return to Sender.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, socialist, cop hater, cop lover, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, or anything else that strikes your fancy, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
Yeah, Peg. It's Davy in the mailroom. We've got another interesting package down here for you. Do you want to open it, or do you want me to throw it in a pail of water?
Hi, Davy. Is that cardboard box it?
That's it.
You put it through the X-ray machine.
Sure, and it could be a bomb. Here, I'll show you. You see what I mean?
Whatever it is, it's big and rounded at one end. I don't see any wires attached. I think we're being a touch over paranoid here, Davy. Besides, who'd want to blow me up?
The same people who send you letters smeared with their own feces, I guess.
Right. I think I'll open it.
Okay. Here you go. And, good luck.
What are you going to do? Stand out in the hall?
No. I'll stand here, behind you.
Feels too light for a bomb.
You think so?
No return address.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, look.
What?
It's a blue china vase. The top's taped shut. Should I open it?
Oh, what if it's booby-trapped? You could lose a hand. Or worse.
Ready?
Oh, jeez.
It's full of dirt.
Well, let's see. Pour some out.
Oh, it's kind of like gray talcum powder. Feel it.
You see these tiny white bits?
Yeah?
Bones. It's just like my mother.
Oh, God.
Somebody sent you an urn with a person inside.
I don't think it should be on the dining room table.
Oh? Why?
Because it's not showing any respect, for one thing. And it's throwing me off my supper, for another.
I just wanted Carlos to see it. What do you think?
Well, looks like cremated remains, all right.
God.
Not necessarily human, though. It could be a dog, a cat.
Oh, don't listen to him, Sammy. Can we put whoever it is away now, Mom? Please?
Okay. I'll put him back on top of the fridge.
Oh, good.
Notice how she refers to it as a he. Do you think that's psychologically significant?
Isn't there a law against carting somebody's remains around? Somebody you don't even know, and you'd think she just got a Christmas present or something.
How's the pizza?
It's great. Where's it from?
Chico's. When you're a cop, you become an expert on takeout pizza and Chinese and Italian.
Uh-huh. So, how do you like your new apartment?
It's okay.
I guess Mom picked it out.
That's right.
You know, Carlos, that thing about you having to move out because I was coming back to live with Mom this year, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, I know.
What do you know?
Carlos knows where all the very best takeout pizzas are.
Yes, he does. Among many other things, Carlos knows just about everything.
She's setting me up for something, Amber.
Oh, no, I'm not. So anyway, what do you think?
About what?
My little man up on the fridge? Why would somebody do something like that?
Could be a gift. You know, Uncle Fred had always enjoyed your columns, and as a token of gratitude, we're sending you Uncle Fred.
With that, free to follow.
Well, I think it's a cry for help. I think somebody's saying that this person was murdered or something. and they want somebody to investigate.
Then why wouldn't they include a note or a return address?
Maybe they were afraid.
Or, like I said, maybe it's just a large dog or 2 or 3 cats.
Come on.
People get their pets cremated all the time. Maybe somebody put a little package together and sent it to you as a joke.
Or, Mom, maybe somebody's threatening you.
Yeah. Well, that's crossed my mind, too.
Cinderella cleaning. Dopey speaking. Yes. It's just a little joke there, Mrs. Madison. When? This Friday? Well, no, it's not your regular day, but that's all right. No. Yeah, I know. People drop in on the spur of the moment. I know. I know.
Hi, Bernie. I was passing by, so I thought I'd come up.
Shh. Yeah, we'll be there, Mrs. Madison. Bye.
I'm not interrupting, am I?
No.
You'll never guess what happened. Somebody sent me somebody and a china vase. Carlos thought it might be an animal, so he took a sample down to the police lab. But he just called a minute ago to say it's human. So I'm stuck with it.
You mean, like...
Somebody's ashes. And no name. No note with it, nothing. I don't know what to do.
Uh-huh.
Carlos says it's serious because they're human remains. There's a lot of complicated issues around human remains, you know.
Ooh, I'll bet. Oh, you're not gonna smoke, are you?
Are you kidding? I've got a body in my apartment, Bernie. Just once, I'm tense.
Oh, well, you look all excited to me. So is Carlos gonna impound it or what?
I told him not to. I told him to give me a few days.
Well, he always does what you tell him.
No, he doesn't. What do you mean by that?
I mean, the man is sitting in an apartment over a store on Queen Street because that's where you said you wanted him. That's what I mean.
And you interpret that as some kind of weakness on his part? I thought you were more sophisticated than that.
He was living with you all summer. Now he's not, so I feel kind of sorry for him, that's all. Though, on the other hand...
Look, the truth is, Carlos is a very strong man. And he's understanding, and he's running out of patience.
Is he?
Yeah. We had this talk after supper last night at his place.
3 months.
3 months?
It's the end of September now. 1st of next year, we could be in our new place. Upstairs for Amber, downstairs for us. A room set aside for your office. That's what I want.
I know.
All you have to do is figure out why you're feeling claustrophobic.
I'm not feeling claustrophobic now.
Making love doesn't count. It's all the rest of the time.
It's not about you, though. As long as you know, it's not about you.
Bullshit. Open up your eyes. I'm here, aren't I?
I think I'm driving him crazy.
You do it so well.
Why don't I just come out and admit to him that I'm a self-obsessed, career-driven, ruthless, selfish bitch. And I need a lot of space.
Or, why don't you figure out what's really bothering you instead of becoming oratorical? And see if you can come to terms with it in 3 months.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means we've been friends for over 100 years. And Carlos, a very decent and perceptive guy, loves you. So there must be more to you than what you just said. That's what that means.
You always know just the right thing to say, Bernie.
I know. That's me.
That's why I love you.
I know that, too. So, I gotta work now.
Right.
So, what are you gonna do with your little man in a jar?
If only I knew who sent it. And why?
Yeah, it is a trifle odd.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just, friendly. You know, maybe it's someone who always wanted to be close to you.
Pardon?
Well, sure, you're famous, aren't you? A celeb. People always want to be close to celebs. Maybe put it in his will. Mail me to Peggy Delaney. So, where exactly is he?
In my bedroom closet, under a blanket. Amber doesn't like him.
In your bedroom closet. See what I mean?
Hi.
Hi.
You working late again?
Oh, something Bernie said this afternoon about our little friend wanting to be close.
Close.
It's been nagging at me, and I just had a thought. Ivan Kitchen. Did I ever tell you about him?
I don't think so.
I interviewed him 10 years ago. My first feature. Ivan was this computer gnome, just one of a large group of guys who were working out of their basements and bedrooms, designing video games for kids. He thought my article was all about him, though. He thought I'd fallen in love with him.
Really?
Oh, he was this scraggy-looking, dirty beard, dirty hair, but really smart guy, and really confused. He'd show up at the Trib at court cases I was covering at my apartment.
This apartment?
Uh-huh. He thought I was being held hostage by the owner of the paper, and all my columns were written in a secret code only he and I could understand, professing my love for him and pleading to be rescued. I tried to explain that nothing he was thinking was true, but he kept haunting me. I got restraining orders. He broke them, started to be sentenced to short jail terms, and then one day he broke in here.
He did?
With 2 tickets to Prestwick, Scotland, and a butcher knife to fight off the bad guys.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. I talked him into letting me call my mother to give her the good news, but instead I phoned Nick at the Trib. Nick called the cops, and once we got to the airport, Ivan was arrested, peacefully, and put away indefinitely.
Mom, when was this?
About 7 years ago. I asked the court if he was ever released to inform me, and they did. See? Here it is. He was released last July.
Oh, great, Mom.
Yeah, well, I never heard anything more from him, so I figured 6 years of treatment, the guy's cured. Now, I'm not so sure.
About what?
Well, Bernie said maybe the guy in the jar could be someone who wanted to be close to me.
The guy in the jar is dead. He doesn't know he's close to you.
But maybe he had someone mail him to...
No, that's just stupid. That man was in here with a butcher knife? Why didn't you move?
Well, because he was safe in jail. And because if I moved every time somebody threatened me, I'd be moving all the time. And because if somebody wants to get to you, they will. Somehow, somewhere. And I refuse to live my life like a scared rabbit.
Good morning. Old-time clocks, Jacob Kitchen.
Yes, hi, Jacob. It's Peggy Delaney calling.
Oh, yes. Miss Delaney.
Hi. We haven't talked for a long while.
No.
7 years, I guess, since your brother's last trial.
Yes. Well, we were always so sorry for all your trouble, Miss Delaney.
And you were always very kind. I really appreciated it. Anyway, I'm just calling because I got notice from the court that Ivan was released last summer. He was going to live at some halfway house in Winnipeg.
That's right.
So, how's he doing?
Well, he lived there for a few months, and then he came back to live with me and help me out in my shop. Oh, he didn't get in touch with you, did he?
No.
Oh, that's a relief. And you won't have to worry now.
Oh, why not?
My brother, he passed away 3 weeks ago, Miss Delaney.
He did?
Killed himself, actually.
Oh, my God. Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Yes.
I feel like I should put some flowers on his grave or something. Was he buried in Toronto?
You know, it's the strangest thing. I was thinking of calling you.
Why?
Well, my brother was cremated, actually. My mother has his ashes. Had his ashes.
Oh.
Yes. She lives in an apartment in a retirement home. She's still quite active, but her mind is, well, increasingly out of touch, I guess I could say. Anyway, the last time I was visiting her, I noticed Ivan's ashes were missing, and when I asked her about them, she pretended she couldn't hear. Anyway, I had this awful feeling that she might have mailed them to you. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's certainly something she might do, so I'm very relieved that you called and she didn't...
Jacob, she did. She did mail his ashes to me.
Oh, Lord, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right.
No, it's not. Well, I'll have to get them back, won't I? Is there any...
Jacob, this is a great story. It's just the greatest story. I have to talk to your mother.
Oh, no, I don't
Look what I've been put through, Jacob. With this urn. I think you owe me one. And, you know, I'll be very discreet.
But you're not going to put this in the paper, for God's sake.
Well, let me just have a little talk with your mother. Then I'll interview you, and then we can decide together. It could be touching, you know. It could allow me to write about Ivan's life in an understanding and an affecting way. I could give him back a measure of his dignity.
Well, she may get very upset.
I'm used to interviewing all sorts of people.
Well, no one quite like Mother. Look, whatever you do, don't leave the ashes with her. She'll mail them again. Bring them here.
Her door's down this hallway.
Thanks.
We didn't know you were part of the family, Miss Delaney, until Mr. Kitchen called to say you'd be visiting his mother.
I'm a distant relative.
Yes, that's what Mr. Kitchen said. And he said not to say anything. You wanted to surprise her?
Yeah. So, how is she?
Oh, you know what she's like. Physically, she's still quite active. She goes out for walks by herself, sits in the park downtown. But she lives in her own little world. Mrs. Kitchen, it's Joyce.
What's that?
It's Joyce, Mrs. Kitchen.
Oh, all right, dear. Come in.
You can go in and surprise her then.
Thanks. Hello?
Where's Joyce?
She went back to the office.
Who are you?
I've brought you a present.
Do I know you? I think I do.
I think you do, too. Peggy Delaney.
Oh, my goodness, Peggy Delaney, is it? Of course it is. What did you do with your hair, dear?
Pardon?
It's so brittle-looking. Is it falling out? That's what happens when you bleach your hair so often. What's your natural color?
My natural color is this color, more or less.
Such a pointy face you have, like a little ferret.
Mrs. Kitchen, guess what I have in this box? I called Jacob, and when I described a certain blue china vase, he nearly dropped the phone. What do you think of that?
Jacob is a nice boy, but slow, terribly slow. Ivan was the clever one. Oh, he was a brilliant boy, until he fell in love with this cheap little piece of trash, and then the world fell down. The world fell down.
You have a lot of pictures of him, don't you?
Oh, yes. All taken before you destroyed him, dear. See that one? Ivan and I in front of the Princess Gates, taken in 1973. See how handsome he is? See how pretty I still am? My hair was naturally blonde, you know. Not like some people we both know.
Mrs. Kitchen, why did you send me Ivan's... his... urn?
His urn?
His ashes. Your son's ashes. Was it to frighten me? To make me feel guilty? Why?
You have Ivan's ashes in that box?
You know I do. So why, Mrs. Kitchen? Mrs. Kitchen? Hello? Mrs. Kitchen?
Hi.
Hi.
How'd it go?
Oh, not so good. She pretended she couldn't hear. She shut down like a stone. Her room is filled with Ivan's pictures. It's a shrine.
Mom, let's just get rid of this box now, okay?
Mr. Kitchen?
I was just talking to Sunshine Acres. They said your visit seemed short.
Oh, she wouldn't talk, besides a few insults.
Well, that's Mother, Miss Delaney. I did warn you.
Uh-huh.
And did she deny mailing my brother's... his urn to you?
I didn't get that far.
Is it in that box?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyway, we can still talk. Ivan was living here with you.
Yes. I have an apartment right above the shop. 2 floors. There's a 3rd-floor hallway with a banister overlooking the stairwell. About 2 o'clock one morning, Ivan hung himself from there.
Oh, God.
The coroner estimates about 2 o'clock. Anyway, I didn't find him till I got up at 6.
Oh, does that happen every hour?
Yes, on the hour, every hour. When you sell antique clocks, people like to know that they keep accurate time, of course. I close early on Saturday afternoons. You don't have to go, but I'll just pull down the shade, lock my door.
Had Ivan said anything to you, or did he leave a note?
No. I thought he might leave a note. I looked all over for it, but I never found one.
And cremation?
Well, that wasn't my idea, or Ivan's. At least, I never heard him talk about it. It was Mother's.
I see.
Like I said before, she wanted to keep him close to her. But I was surprised I didn't find a note from Ivan. He was like you in that way. He loved stories, too.
Oh?
He would do almost anything to hear a good story. Just like you.
Well, that's what I do for a living.
Yes, I understand that. Ivan told me a good story once.
Oh? What was that?
You know how he lived in a fantasy. Dreamed that somehow you were good and you were enslaved by evil men and you were in love with him? You remember that?
Of course I do.
He read your series of columns about him after he was put away. He found them in a stack of newspapers in the library at the institution. They were cruel. Well, he felt so anyway.
They were true. At least, as true as I could make them. I thought they were sympathetic.
He thought they were a lie. A cover-up for what was really going on. That, in fact, you'd been seducing him. Not because you loved him, but because you were creating a story. And you led him on for years. Until you had driven him to an extreme act. And then you had your story.
Well, I'm sorry he felt that way. You know, if that's what he thought, then despite all those years in that institution, nothing had really changed.
He thought everything had changed. You had gone from being everything that was right to being everything that was wrong.
Are you saying that's why he killed himself?
Let me tell you the story Ivan told me. Though, it's not really a story. It was more like one of his video games. You remember them? That's what you first wrote about.
Yes.
Well, this game is about how to overcome all the obstacles and reach the tower and save the princess.
Oh? And how was he going to do that?
Well, there were 2 brothers in this game. One was a little fat, like me. Clean-shaven, going bald. The other was bearded, like Ivan. But anyway, the secret to the game was that you had to know 2 things to win. The first was that you couldn't reach the princess. You had to find a way to make the princess come to you. And the second secret was, by removing the one brother's hair and beard, you could make him look just like the other one, because, in fact, they were twins. Hello, Peggy. It's nice to see you again.
Ivan? Ivan Kitchen. Oh, my God.
Where are you going? No, you are going nowhere. Nowhere.
Let go!
No, destroyer of souls, you eater of hearts, vampire, demon.
Oh, my... Put away that knife, Ivan. Please.
No, but I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to. I want to hear your skin ripping open. I want to see all your darkness pour out. Who's that?
That's no one at all.
Mom, are you in there? Mom!
But she's saying, Mom. Mother? Spawn? The viper has a little viper?
No!
Let's have a look. Let's...
She hit him with a mantel clock.
She did?
What was I supposed to do? Talk to him?
I was waiting out in the car, and I saw him pull down the blind and lock the door. And I waited some more, and then I got nervous, and...
Thank God for that.
How long do we have to stay here, anyway?
So the investigating officers have a complete statement.
The complete statement is... he killed his brother, switched places, had him cremated, sent him to me, knowing I'd come to him. Like a moth to a flame, like a witch. I'd come for my story. I wish I felt completely wronged and completely innocent of driving him nuts. He called me a destroyer of souls, an eater of hearts. Like that.
Peggy.
He's an insane person, Mom.
Yeah. Right.
You've just heard Peggy Delaney for This Week by James W. Nichol. A play called Return to Sender. In the cast today, Kyra Harper was Peggy. Katerina Scarsone was Amber. John Stalker was Bernie. George Bouza was Detective Carlos Szabo. With them were John Dolan as Davy, Tom McCamus as Kitchen, Raven Dowda as Joyce, and Jennifer Phipps as Ida Kitchen. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka and performed by Ray Parker, Kevin McKenzie, Rick Whitelaw, and Scott Alexander. The recording engineer was Greg DeClute with sound effects by Matt Wilcott. The associate producer was Colleen Woods. Production and direction were by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening.